Sidney Crosby, the face of the Pittsburgh Penguins, the pride of Canadian hockey, had just announced his retirement. No leaks, no warning, no whispers. Just one shocking message that left millions of fans speechless. Moments before the news dropped, nobody suspected a thing. Crosby was practicing, smiling, doing interviews like normal. And then, out of nowhere, the Penguins' official account posted a single image. Sidney standing at center ice, helmet off, head down, with the words, "Thank you, Sid." That was it. 3 words that broke the NHL internet. Please like, share, and subscribe for more NHL content. Within minutes, hashtags like #ThankYouSid and #CrosbyForever were trending worldwide. Every major sports network cut to live coverage. ESPN, TSN, Sportsnet, they were all scrambling to confirm what fans couldn't believe. After nearly 2 decades of greatness, it looked like the career of one of hockey's most legendary players had come to an end. To understand why this moment hit so hard, you have to remember what Sidney Crosby means to hockey. From his first NHL goal to that golden overtime winner in Vancouver, Crosby wasn't just a superstar, he was a symbol of consistency, leadership, and passion. He was the kid who carried the weight of a nation on his shoulders and never once complained. But lately, fans had noticed small things. The slower stride. The more careful shifts. The moments when he skated to the bench just a little earlier than before. It wasn't obvious, but those watching closely could sense it. Something inside Crosby was changing. The official press conference was scheduled for noon. Reporters filled the room, cameras were rolling, and you could feel the tension in the air. Then, the doors opened, and Sidney Crosby walked in. No smile. No gear. Just a black suit, a folded statement, and eyes that said everything before he even spoke. He took a deep breath and looked out at the crowd. "It's time," he said softly. "It's time to step away." The words echoed like a siren through the room. You could hear the gasps, the sniffles, the disbelief. This wasn't just another player retiring. This was the end of an era. As he spoke, his voice wavered only once, when he thanked the fans. "You've been my family," he said, eyes glistening. "You believed in me when I was just a kid with a dream." Cameras zoomed in on his trembling hands as he placed the statement on the podium. It was a moment every hockey fan will remember forever. The reaction online was instant heartbreak. Fans were posting their favorite Crosby memories, from his first Stanley Cup lift to the Olympic gold celebration. Even rivals like Alex Ovechkin and Patrice Bergeron posted tributes. The entire hockey community, usually divided by rivalries, united in grief and respect. But here's where things got emotional. Sources later revealed that Crosby had made his decision weeks earlier, quietly, privately, without telling even his closest teammates. He didn't want a farewell tour or a media circus. He wanted to leave the game with the same humility that defined his career. Teammates said they only found out the night before. One described it as losing a brother. Another said the locker room was silent for hours. When Sidney came in that morning, every player stood and clapped. No words. Just respect. The NHL released an official statement calling Crosby one of the greatest ambassadors the sport has ever known. The commissioner himself reportedly called Crosby personally to thank him for everything he'd done for the game. It wasn't just a retirement, it was a farewell to a living legend. Outside PPG Paints Arena, fans gathered holding candles and wearing jerseys with number 87. Some cried. Some smiled through tears. Others just stood there, taking it all in. One fan said, "It feels like the soul of the Penguins just left." And yet, amidst all the sadness, there was pride. Because Crosby didn't just play the game, he changed it. He redefined what leadership looked like, what work ethic meant, and what it takes to be great year after year. In his final message, Crosby ended with a simple line, "I'll always be part of this game, just in a different way." That sentence sent fans into a frenzy of speculation. Was this really goodbye, or was something else coming? Coaching, management, ownership. Nobody knew, but everyone hoped. Later that evening, the city of Pittsburgh lit up its skyline in gold and black. The arena's big screen played a tribute video that ended with his signature smile and the words, "Thank you, Sid. Forever our captain." Back in Nova Scotia, where it all began, crowds gathered at the rink where young Sidney first learned to skate. The boards were covered with messages from kids who grew up idolizing him. One note said, "You made me believe anything is possible." Even NHL legends chimed in. Wayne Gretzky called Crosby the closest thing to perfection this game has ever seen. Mario Lemieux said, "I handed him the torch, and he carried it farther than I ever could." When players like that speak, you know it's history. But there's one last twist. Rumors began spreading that Crosby might not be done completely. Some insiders claim his retirement is more of a pause, hinting at a potential return in the future, perhaps in a smaller role or for one final run. Fans immediately latched onto that hope, refusing to let go of the dream. As of now, the legend rests. But even without the skates, Sidney Crosby's presence in hockey will never fade. His impact, his legacy, and his leadership will echo through every rink, every kid who laces up their skates, every fan who still believes in magic on ice. And if this truly is the end, then what a story it's been. A career built on heart, discipline, and grace. A hero who left before the game could ever leave him. But something tells me this isn't the last we'll see of Sidney Crosby. Because legends don't disappear, they just wait for the perfect time to return. And when he does, the hockey world will be ready. Stay tuned.